Esteemed Mr. President, dear friends, we are very glad to see you. And at the beginning of our conversation, I would like to once again thank you for your decision to take part in the events dedicated to the 80th anniversary of the victory in the Great Patriotic War. I remember our constructive and fruitful conversation when in 2023 you visited our country for the first time to participate in the Russia-Africa Summit in St. Petersburg. Your current visit to Russia for the celebration of the 80th anniversary of the victory is highly symbolic and reflects the friendly nature of Russian-Burkinabe relations. I would also like to recall the contribution of your country to the defeat of German Nazism and its satellites. About 30,000 residents of present-day Burkina Faso fought as part of the anti-Hitler coalition forces in the formations of fighting France under the leadership of the legendary son of the French people, General Charles de Gaulle. Today we are united by a common goal, the fight against terrorism and extremism. We will continue to assist the Republic in restoring law and constitutional order and provide support in suppressing radical groups that remain in certain areas of Burkina Faso. Over the past 2 years, we have made significant progress in developing mutually beneficial cooperation in various fields. At the end of 2023, after more than a 30-year hiatus, the Russian embassy in Ouagadougou resumed its work. A regular political dialogue has been established. Although the volume of trade is still quite modest, it is nevertheless increasing. And this is a positive trend. Of course, it is important to maintain this trend. We need to work together to further strengthen economic ties and diversify mutual trade. In this regard, the Burkina Faso Economic Days in Russia, held in October 2024, proved to be useful, with a high-level Burkinabe delegation led by the Prime Minister taking part. The issue of establishing an intergovernmental commission is being worked out. At the end of last year, a specialized working group was already formed. We will continue to assist your country in training national personnel. In 2024-2025, the quota of Russian government scholarships for Burkinabe citizens has been more than doubled. This year, we are ready to accept another 27 students from your country at the expense of the federal budget. In total, about 3,500 Burkinabe have received their education with us. The promotion of cultural and humanitarian ties is facilitated by the Russian House, which has been operating in Ouagadougou since 2024, where, among other things, Russian language instruction is organized. There is great potential for cooperation in the fields of healthcare and sanitation. Just recently, on April 24th and 25th, Ms. Popova visited Ouagadougou. We are ready to conduct joint scientific research, develop laboratory infrastructure, and train specialized professionals. We attach priority importance to providing humanitarian assistance to Burkina Faso. Last year, we sent you 25,000 tons of wheat free of charge. This month, a large shipment of other food supplies will arrive in Ouagadougou. We value our close coordination with Burkina Faso on the world stage, including within the framework of the United Nations and other international organizations. A new and useful format of cooperation has been the consultations between Russia and the Confederation of Sahel States. The first such meeting was held at the ministerial level in Moscow in April of this year. I believe we have good prospects in many areas. We have the opportunity to discuss some of them today. Thank you for your attention.
No data? Bonjour.
No data.
I hope I pronounced it correctly, just to be sure. It is an honor for me to take part in these celebrations dedicated to the great victory. I would like to thank you for this invitation. This is very symbolic for us. And during my stay here, I must say that I have learned a lot during this visit. I've learned a lot about the culture and history that formed the foundation of the Russian people's resistance, the basis of their struggle. I have learned about the sacrifices your people made, thanks to which they are free today. I would like to thank you once again for this invitation. This moment, this meeting, allows us to reflect on what is happening now and to think about the future. And with that, I think that unobstructed. The obstacles we see today should not stop us. In some ways, these obstacles even work in our favor. Because despite all the sanctions that have been imposed on the Russian Federation by many countries, Russia still holds a prominent place on the international stage. And we take note of that. We understand that this is not easy. I watched as the soldiers marched past us in the parade. 4 Grand Gay and Jisku and Jirbi. I saw the equipment, including tanks that took part in the Great Patriotic War, and I also saw modern equipment. We would like our cooperation to develop exponentially, to take on new forms. We thank you for your attitude toward Burkina Faso. Today I visited the Mendeleev Pamwe Institute. After defense and security, it is you. And we understand that besides defense and security, there is another important area, science and education. And we would like Russia to help us educate our youth, to teach them science, so that we can develop our own production. The soldier goes with the army and the machine goes with industry. Industry, mechanical engineering, because this is very important for Africa. I can't invite the Zorgli there. We believe that the terrorism we are witnessing today stems from imperialism, and this is what we are fighting against. If we put an end to this war, if we have a strong army, we will be able to focus on developing our homeland. This is the meaning we see in our struggle. That is why it is so important to train and educate personnel. Very often, in Africa, there are many expectations, many needs when it comes to technical equipment. That is why we have a lot of work ahead of us. We would like to ask for help. And most importantly, how MNM can you help us? It is through exchange, by sharing technology and experience with us. And for the third time, how does this happen? We need to understand how the universities that exist in Russia can be extended to Burkina Faso. How can we open branches in Burkina Faso to provide more practical training for our citizens, our students? This is fundamental. We are in a context where we must transform everything we have locally, our task. We would like Burkina Faso to develop and for many students to come to us to study science. Thank you. We see the remarkable youth of the Russian Federation. Among them are many scientists, young scientists, and we would like you to share your experience. Another important aspect is the military sphere. We have many projects in the field of defense and